Hey Heights Church family, Pastor Justin here, and we are continuing in the thread Steadfast. And I am going to get to share with you a passage out of chapter 3, verses 12 through 15. Let me read them to you, and then I want to share just a couple quick thoughts and give you a word of encouragement. It says this in verse 12, "Since God chose you to be the holy people he loves, you must clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Make allowances for each other's faults and forgive anyone who has offended you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. And let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as members of one body, you are called to live in peace and always be thankful." I think there's a couple things that jump out at me right out of this passage. And the first one is that since the Lord forgave you, forgive others. This is the idea of keeping short accounts. For me, I don't want to keep holding on to resentments and frustrations. I recognize in my own life that I can sometimes have a short temper and be frustrated with things as they happen. I can always tell when I'm at the level of frustration and stress because I get really frustrated with the drivers around me on the road. When I'm really settled and really at peace, I give much more grace and I overlook people cutting me off, swerving in front of me, all those kinds of things. But when I am stressed or under pressure or having a hard day, I definitely recognize in myself the frustration that exudes towards other people. But the thing about this isn't just the people out on the road. He's talking about the body of Christ. He's talking about our community. He's talking about how we live one another as Heights Church in our life groups, in our community here on Sundays, in our friendships throughout our church. And so, put on these things. And I love this. He says, tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. These are things that we do in love. We recognize the brokenness and the flawedness of the people around us. I was just having a conversation with someone today, and they said, I love that this person was able to just share honestly where they were at. One of the people in staff was having a conversation with somebody who attends here at Heights Church, and I don't want to give names, but this person was just telling her, hey, I was having a really rough day, and he was very honest about the challenges he was experiencing. And I pointed out and I realized, the reason why people are able to do that is because we give space for tender-hearted mercy here at Heights Church. And I just love this picture, clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy. It's this idea of putting it on, wearing it. And so I have to be an active participant of this, meaning I got to follow Jesus. I got to surrender my heart to him. And then I have to actively put on these things in my life because they don't happen by accident. So that's my encouragement to you today, Heights Church, is to love your brothers and your sisters. And if you're feeling stressed out, surrender it, give it to Jesus, and find that place. Put on the tender-hearted mercy for one another. If you have a brother or sister who's struggling, is failing, falling short, maybe a little short in their temper, just give grace. Give them grace. Put on tender-hearted mercy. Overlook the little things. Keep short accounts. And don't hold resentments, because I promise you that stuff will poison your soul. And we want you to live in freedom and in hope. Thanks so much for joining me, Heights Church. See you next time.